Question number 10, Mojo Mathers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Primary Industries. Will he support a ban on cosmetic testing on animals?
Honourable Joe
Speaker.
Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, Cabinet will be considering the proposed amendment from the Green Party and making a decision very soon. It's worth noting there is no animal testing of cosmetic products in New Zealand, and to the best of our knowledge, there never has been. We support the intention of this amendment, but we need to be sure the wording is sound so that it doesn't have unintended consequences, such as banning testing on ingredients that might be in medicines that New Zealanders depend upon.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathers.
Supplementary question. I appreciate that answer. And is he aware that some time ago a similar claim was made that the outdated and cruel LD50 tests were not carried out in New Zealand, and that subsequent to that claim, at least one Animal Ethics Committee has approved these tests?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, no, I'm not aware of that.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathers.
Point of order.
Point of order, Mojo Mathers.
I seek leave to table part of a transcript of a verbal submission to the Primary Production Committee in 1991, where Professor Glackman stated that there were no LD50 tests done in New Zealand and that they had been banned.
The document's now been described. It's probably available, but since the clerk has advised, I was going to say 1991 is a long time ago and difficult for members to research back that far. On that basis, I will put the leave is sought to table that particular transcript. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. Supplementary question, Mojo Mathers.
Point of order.
Point of order, Mojo Mathers.
I seek leave to table an OIO response from an Animal Ethics Committee saying that they had approved 3 applications to undertake LD50 tests between 2008 and 2013.
The document's been described. Leave is now sought to table an Animal Ethics Committee report. Is there any objection to that being tabled? There is none. It can be tabled. Supplementary question, Mojo Mathers.
Given that we cannot rely on assurances that particular cruel and unnecessary tests will not be approved, will he support a ban on animal testing of cosmetics as called for by more than 92,000 people?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, as I have said to the member, the Cabinet will shortly consider the amendment, and we will be doing so in light of making very sure that the wording will not have unintended consequences. In terms of the strict controls that are currently in place in New Zealand, we do need an independent ethics committee approval is sought before any testing can occur. Any project must show that the benefits will outweigh any harm that is caused.
Supplementary question.
Point of order.
A point of order, Mojo.
I seek leave to table the names of 92,242 people.
Order. I'm not prepared to put that leave. It's not something that's informative for the House. Further supplementary. Question number 11, Todd Barclay.
Excuse me.
Order.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Mojo Mathers.
Is he aware that if National vote against my amendment to ban animal testing of cosmetics, that we would be the first country in the world to have had the opportunity to do so and chosen not to? And does he think that would be good for our international reputation?
Honourable Joe Goodhue, on behalf of the Minister.
On behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, I can once again assure the member that Cabinet will very shortly consider the Green Party amendment, we will be looking to make sure there are no unintended consequences from that, but giving it careful consideration.
Question number 11, Todd Barclay.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Small Business and asks, how are small businesses benefiting from the innovation initiatives of the Business Growth Agenda?